It was the beginning of 2011, January or February, that I first started realizing the importance of me to start taking these pills again. These pills in 2004 had destroyed and almost destroyed my marriage, destroyed my sanity, had taken away from me years and years of what I had built up in my mind. That is, the Christian constructs in my mind. It had totally destroyed everything that I knew, and I had to build again. So why, when my life was so serene, so calm, so peaceful, was my own inner voice insistent upon me taking these pills again? It wasn't to get high. I wasn't interested in getting high. Well, I guess it was late February, maybe March, when I started taking them again. This inner voice told me to take less of them and to meditate on them. Well, it wasn't long before I realized why it was that I felt compelled to take these pills again. Now, these pills last a good 6 hours. The first 3 or 4 hours of it, especially the 1 hour in between, the 1 hour before it starts to go down, before you start, the buzz starts to recede. That hour can be quite disturbing. If anyone has taken LSD and had a bad trip, it is just like that. For that hour, you want so much to crawl out of your own brain. But that hour is necessary for you to really fully look at the demons inside, to know where you are falling short, to recognize the darkest parts of our natures. Well, I was still going to school. These pills, they focus things like a laser. You're able to work a lot better. Of course, there's that 1 hour where you can't do crap. But the last 2 hours of the buzz are, it's like a plane that's going to Mach speed to break the sound barrier. And right before that barrier is broke, at least in the planes back years ago, the pilot would feel like the plane was going to just fall apart, shaking, like the whole thing was just going to come apart at every rivet and every seam in that plane. But then, when you hit the speed of sound, they say it's just like all of a sudden, boom, and it's smooth sailing from there on. That's what the last 2 hours of this is like. So I meditated on them over and over again. Then there was one weekend. These pills are very bad on your stomach, and you don't take them without eating something first. I mean, they really wreak havoc on your stomach. And you don't drink on them. If you drink on them, It's not pleasant. Well, the weekend before I finally reached Satori, I took these pills, and I fasted. I spent it was a weekend, just a 2-day fast. I spent the first day throwing up. I mean, wretchedly throwing up. It was as though I was trying to purge my body of the demons. I don't use that word metaphorically, by the way. You can take it that way if you like. That first day was a purge. And that second day, I really, really felt that the Spirit was there. Whatever the Spirit was. Because you got to remember, I was an atheist at that point. It was the next weekend after that things really, really started happening. It was Sunday. No, I'm sorry. It wasn't the first time that it happened was actually right after that weekend. It must have been Monday. Yeah, it was Monday, the day after that weekend that I purged. I was sitting in meditation. Now my computer screen in my computer had been fried during the tornadoes outbreak that we had down here in Alabama back in April of 2011. This was May. So instead of my normal computer, I had a timer for meditation also on a laptop. Now, you get used to using a certain timer, you don't want to use something else. It's just, habit. So I was using that timer. The same timer that I downloaded off of the internet. But the screen on the laptop it would go blank. It would go, and I couldn't figure out how to keep it from going to sleep. So I had a black screen. I couldn't stare at the timer and see how much time I had left. I kept looking back at this black screen over and over. How much time do I have? How much time do I have left? Certainly I've sat here for 30 minutes. Certainly I've sat here for 30 minutes. Well, after sitting there and thinking this while I'm meditating, I finally just say, well, I'm going to reach over and look and see how much time I have left. I reached over and clicked the, hit the space bar or whatever on the laptop, and as soon as I hit it, the timer went off. I had timed 30 minutes, my 30-minute meditation, down to the second. Now, unusual things happen when you meditate, and that was an unusual thing. I didn't think a whole lot about it. Mentioned it to my wife. But then it happened again the next day, exactly the same way. And then it happened again the next. So you've got Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday 3 times in a row. I timed 30 minutes down to the second. What was happening is that I was becoming part of the universal mind. I was becoming part of the consciousness we call God. Thursday and Friday, I didn't use that timer. I don't know, maybe I was just afraid to. I don't know. It was bizarre, and I didn't know what was going on. Saturday, I used it again, and sure enough, it happened again. And then there was Sunday. May 15th, 2011. And it happened again. And when I reached down and I hit that laptop that time, and when that gong went off, it was like the entire universe opened up to me. And for less than a second, I was completely and totally omniscient. It was like I had seen a puzzle that had been put together right there in front of me. And then right afterwards, it was as though that puzzle had been taken and thrown up in the air, and every piece of it had fallen back apart. And since then, since that day, I have been trying to put this puzzle back together. So many of you and so many events are the pieces of this puzzle that I've been putting back together. But I knew at that point, beyond any doubt, I am 100%, I know it. This is not a matter of opinion, folks. This world is coming to an end. It's a good thing. It's a good thing for us. For those who still have love in their heart. Those who are still working towards the betterment of mankind. You said it, Sky. You said it once. Humanity is the religion. I'm here for a purpose now. I am a destroyer. I'm here to destroy the Christian constructs in people's minds, the religious constructs. I am here to destroy. I am here to destroy religion. In the new world, people will not even remember how divided we once were. Get that 5%. Go out there and find the wheat. Separate the wheat from the chaff. Now, what went on after I became enlightened, I'm not going to talk about. It's just too difficult for anyone who hasn't been through this to understand, and I don't have the words to describe what I saw and what went on. In my inner circle, I'll talk about it, but not here. Not like this. Next, I'll be talking about generally what happened after I became enlightened.